Hello dear group members, I am Peter Platt and we have a new drawing for correction, and the drawing was made by Antonio Berdi. I hope that I pronounced your name well. The name is written here, and I told you that there are a few drawings. She posted about 3 drawings on the group in the last couple of weeks, and I would just do some quick corrections on every drawing, so I won't talk too much. This correction will be a little bit shorter than usually. So I will start with this drawing, and I will try to draw the head shape, which I assume that is under the hair, and it should be looking like this, right? And I will just draw some guides from her top of her head, the eyes like this, and from her chin, straight lines, and I will measure this with my ruler, which by the way you can do it with your pencil. And as I measure, you see that the eyes aren't in the middle of the head, and the first thing what pops out is this part is a little bit small. So there's no problem with the head. Mostly there are problems with the chin and the angle of her jaw. So if I do the same measurement like this, this means that the jaw could come like till here, as you see, and I will make a sign there that our jaw could come till here, and I will try to cut the drawing. So I will reduce the opacity of the lines which I made. Firstly, I will try to draw the back of the head a little bit bigger. Yes, it comes like this. Right, it seems to me that she has a little bit more form there. Right, and I will reduce the opacity of these lines. I will make a copy of the drawing layer, and I will start to cut a little bit. Right, and I do the transform. Sorry for that. Right, and I will make it a little bit longer. Right, and I will put her mouth back on the place. Right, kind of. Right, and now we have our portrait. We have a nice nice measurement for her chin. And if I go on visible on the layer, you see that there is a pretty big difference. Yes, it's more natural. Also, we need to think about the perspective of the portrait. So since we have the eyes like this direction, our nose will be like in this direction, like that, and also the chin will come this direction, and also our mouth needs to come in this direction. Alright, so I will go back on my correction layer and I will adjust the angle of the mouth, right? And also I will adjust the angle of the chin, which will be coming like this. Alright, and I will do invisible to my correction layer. Alright, I will try to go over the drawing a little bit. Alright, and one more thing which is a little bit a problem is her ear, which it seems to me that it's a little bit small, because the ear needs to be this big, from starting from the corner of the eyes, going a little bit up, and then coming down till the bottom part of the nose. So if we are doing this axes, which are a little bit curved like this, okay, you will see that our ear will start at the eye level, it will go up a little bit, and then it will come down till the line of the nose, and the jaw comes like this, right? Okay, and here we have the chin, alright, and the chin goes the same line. Sorry for that. The same line like all the axes of the nose, alright, okay. Also this part of the neck will be a little bit outside, it will be a little bit larger, and it seems to me that it will come like this, alright. And if you are doing the measurements now between her chin and eyes, and between eyes and the top of the head, the measurements needs to be equal like this, alright. So if I take out this layer and I try to correct this part of the ear, right, it will come like this, right. Also this line of the right, and we need to be careful with the neck. The neck has a nice line which comes like this, alright. And if I make invisible this layer, you will see that there is a difference between the two portraits. Also looking to the ear, and also looking to the chin and her mouth. Right, so if I do a quick sketch of a portrait, I will try to draw the middle axis of the portrait. Right, I will try to find the middle of the portrait, which means that there are our eyes. Right. Also between the eyes and chin in the middle we have the nose. Between the nose and chin we have the line of the mouth. Right, and in the line of the corner of the eyes we start our ear and will come till the bottom part of the nose. That's our portrait. Right, like that. Okay, and all the things we have in perspective. Right, if you are going to make it as a cube, we know that we have the cube like this. Right, one moment. Alright, like from here, like this. Okay. And these lines in that direction will be meeting somewhere outside of our drawing, and these lines from here also will be meeting in that direction somewhere outside of our paper. Alright, so be careful with the axis. Alright, and with the proportions. Okay, I will put this demonstration here on this part like that, so you'll have it here, and here we have the two portraits. Okay, this was one. My keyboard is going wrong and I need to push really well all the time, so it sounds a little bit weird. So let's see what is where. Okay, this will be like that. Alright, and as you can see, it's almost instantly visible that the portrait is much more better than the first. Alright, we will need to be careful also with the axis, because we have the same perspective which we have on the other side. So I will try to see about that perspective. Alright, the eyes will come like this, right, and from front you see that the eyes aren't perfectly aligned. Also the mouth is a little bit off. It needs to come like this. Alright, it's good, it's not bad. Alright, let's see about the measurements, because it seems to me that the eyes are in the middle. Alright, let's see that. Yes, and the problem is that her nose could be a little bit longer, because it's not in the middle between the eyes and chin. It's not all the time in the middle, but it seems to me that there are problems with the bottom part of the portrait. So if we are taking her nose a little bit longer, alright, just a tiny bit, okay, and her mouth a little bit down, right, like that. Okay, we will see that, and I will draw down in the like that. So you see that her let's put them like that. It's visible, it's more natural. Alright, it's more natural now, and she has much more smaller chin. Right, the chin also could come a little bit more rounder since she's a lady. Alright, and this part is going a little bit down, so now it's more natural. Alright, okay, since I made her head a little bit bigger, we need to think about her hair a little bit bigger, like that. Alright, and we need to make her hair in front a little bit bigger, and even if it's cut straight, the line isn't straight because it has a little bit of curvature. So like this, and since her head is coming like here, we will need to add a little bit of hair in this part. Alright, so this is it. I think it's Now it's better. Okay, you see the difference? Okay, this was the second portrait. So let's go and watch about the last drawing. And first thing, I will try to draw the head shape, and since he has a pretty big hair, it seems to me that the top of the head is small. If we are dragging our lines, we will see that the same problem persists here also. The eye is a little bit too high. That's not the biggest problem. The biggest problem, it seems to me, that this part of his head, let's put a red line there, needs to be a little bit more in the back. Right, and that's his ear, and the ear is also small a little bit because the ear comes till the line of the nose. Which means that it would need to come right here. Let's make all the lines yellow so you can see the difference. Alright, it's longer, and also the shoulder comes like this. Alright. Okay. So this part needs to be longer, and since this part is longer, also the hair needs to come bigger. And if we take out, let's make another color here, let's make it red. Okay, and if we are taking out the background picture, you see that now the head has a pretty good construction, and also the eyes maybe just a little bit needs to come a little bit lower. And if we take the ruler, just a little bit, let's see, yes, just a little bit, it's not too much. Alright, so it's not that much a problem, but if you watch closely, the back of the head has a pretty big amount of form missing Alright, that's the only thing I want to mention about this portrait. Also, it seems to me that the eyebrow is too close to the eye. Also, it seems to me that the eye is a little bit too close to the nose, but maybe it's just me. So those are some features which aren't that important. You also need to be careful with the perspective of the portrait. It seems to me that his mouth is moved a little bit, and also the direction of the chin needs a little bit corrected. And also I want to talk about this line, which goes a little bit beneath the chin, and beneath the chin it forms a little bit form there, right? And from there comes the neck area, right? And here's the muscle of the neck, like that, alright? And here we have the shoulder, alright? And here we have the clavicle, which goes a little bit like a Z letter, alright? And we drag a nice axis, and the same thing happens on the other side. Right? Having in mind the back of the head, right? And also the right? Okay, and we are putting his hair. Okay. Right, and now if I turn down the two layers, we will see the construction of the head, right? And it's almost the same like the one beneath it, right? So I will put this aside so you can see it, right? And let's make the document a little bit larger, and let's see. Let's arrange a little bit. Alright, we have the other ones. Right. Right, and for that one I didn't did any correction, so it's just a drawing. Alright, and let's crop a little bit more, and let's put this here. Okay, and God. Okay, and your name there. Let's save, and hope you like it and hope you learned from it. And if you have any other questions, I'm waiting for your posts and maybe for your corrections. Wish you a great weekend. Goodbye.